Hey everyone, welcome back to another Beast of the Mesozoic series review. Today we take a look at another early review of the Series 3 Tyrannosaurs, the Gorgosaurus libratus. This is another highly anticipated figure from Series 3. A lot of people are talking about this during the Kickstarter, and I haven't even taken this thing out of the package yet, and this thing looks absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to David for sending me this production sample for this early review. Your continued support of the channel is very much appreciated. Now, if you'd like to get this Gorgosaurus or any of the other Series 3 Tyrannosaurs, they're still up for pre-order on Creative Beast's website. Right now, at the time of this video, the current assortment of these figures is on the water. Expected delivery for the United States is the next 4 to 6 weeks. So if you'd like to save some money and you want to pre-order one of these figures, head over to Creative Beast Studios. This figure is, for the pre-order price, is around 125 bucks. Once it comes into stock, it's going to jump up to 140 bucks. So you're going to save $15 if you pre-order it now. And the link to Creative Beast Studio is down below in the description. So let's go over the packaging really quick before we crack open this beautiful Gorgosaurus. You got the Beast of the Mesozoic logo printed right on the window box. We got the Gorgosaurus all nicely displayed in there. Gorgosaurus libratus along the side. Tyrannosaur series 1/18 scale along the bottom. And we have this gorgeous artwork of this Gorgosaurus telling this poor Centrosaurus that his warranty to frills has expired. And then spinning it around, we have the Beast of the Mesozoic logo on the side with Gorgosaurus. And in the back of the box, we have a photo of the actual figure, along with some facts about Gorgo and the other Wave 3 Tyrannosaurs. The Gorgosaurus is the last figure I got for early review. Once I get the other 5 in, I'll be reviewing them on the channel when they come in the next month or so. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this big blue boy open and take a closer look. And here is the Gorgosaurus out of the packaging, and this thing is drop dead gorgeous. I can see this being the fan favorite with a lot of people in the entire series. Just that blue coloration just really makes this thing stand out from among the other Tyrannosaurs. And speaking of the blue, its coloration is taken from inspiration from real life animals, and this is based on the North American blue racer. And speaking of the paint master on the prototype was done by legendary paleo artist Shane Foulkes, and you can really see the attention to detail on all the paint apps on this beautiful Gorgosaurus. Just those dark blues. It's not too vivid, it still looks pretty natural, but just mixing in with those yellows and cream colors give it a fantastic contrasting look. And just I love the yellow eyes on here. The head sculpt is absolutely beautiful, and you know, I'm really partial to Daspletosaurus, like because it's my favorite Tyrannosaur species, but this thing is really high on the top of my list for the best of the Tyrannosaur series. Just this Gorgosaurus is an absolute drop dead stunner. And now for some measurements. This figure is 20 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or 50.8 centimeters, and about 6.5 inches tall to the top of the head, or 16.5 centimeters. So Gorgosaurus in real life was estimated to be around 30 feet long, or 9 meters. So that puts this figure perfectly in that 1/18 scale range. And now let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with this absolutely gorgeous head sculpt. That is probably one of the nicest head sculpts I've seen on any of the Tyrannosaur figures. It's so well done. Absolutely love how the eye came out. Eye is the same, like the mustard yellow colorations as the markings on the body, with that black pupil, nice glossy coat to give it that lifelike look. All the ornamentation on the head has some nice dry brushing and washes over it to give it a nice natural bony look. You have some of that nice dark blue on the head, some splotches of that mixing in with those gray poupon mustard yellow markings. You see the nostril sculpting right here. This is just a bit of pink in the nostril. And let's take a view of the head from the front. We get some nice binocular vision, and then opening up the mouth, as you can see, the mouth can close completely flush. It looks so nice. Some of the other Tyrannosaurs have troubles keeping their mouths completely flush, but the Gorgo and Dasplete, seems like those kinks have been worked out. Just looks absolutely great. And then opening up the mouth, let's take a look inside the mouth. The mouth paint is a little bit more flat on the Gorgo than it was on the Daspletosaurus, but still nicely done. You can see a lot of nice details on the roof of the mouth. You got the nasal patches sculpted in. You got bright red for the tongue, and behind it, the throat looks like it goes back forever. The teeth are all nicely painted in an off-white color. All the teeth are perfectly painted, no sloppy paint on the teeth on these. And then back right here, you can see the ear canal. Lots of nice scale detail all over the snout. And here's a view of the head from the top. And here's a view of the head on the bottom. You have a little bit of pink on the underside of the lower jaw going down the neck. And let's just zoom back out and take a look at the neck details, and lots of nice folds and wrinkles and scale detail. You can see all that nice dark blue has a nice black wash over it to bring out all that nice scale detail going down to the sides. All that yellow and cream just mixes in so nicely with the blue. That just looks absolutely great. Has a nice sheen to it. And then going down to the forearms, you can see the hand claws are decked out in yellow paint. Very nicely done. Underside, it's all done in a nice cream coat. Lots of nice belly scales sculpted in. And then going down to the hind legs, you have a little bit of that yellow and cream mixing in at the back of the thigh. And then going down to the feet, same thing, yellow paint for the toe claws. And the dew claws, they do have a nice wash over them to bring out all that nice claw detail, make them look very nice and natural. And then going down to the tail, more of the same markings. And here's a view of the body from the top. So yeah, all around, you know, the paint scheme on this is not as elaborate as is on some other figures, but just that blue just makes it pop. And yeah, this guy is definitely really high on my list for like best Tyrannosaur figure ever. Actually, best piece of Mesozoic figure ever right now. Now for articulation, you can see the mouth can close completely flush. It can open up that wide. The tongue is actually articulated. If you just get your finger in there, you can see you can get the tongue to stick up just a little bit. And then for the head right here, you do get some upwards movement and not much downwards movement because the hoodie gets a little bit in the way. That's going to be really interesting to see if any of these Tyrannosaurs make an appearance in Cyberzoic with the upgraded neck hoodies. I really hope that happens. And then for the neck right here, you get some upwards and downwards movement. You just kind of have to wiggle that barbell joint in there just to get the head to go down. And for the arms can swing up, they can move backwards and forwards. You get 90 degrees of bend at the elbow and some rotation. You also get wrist rotation, and the wrists are on a hinge joint. Very tiny arms. You want to be always very careful playing with the little Tyrannosaur arms on these figures. You don't want to snap that joint. And for the body, you get some upwards movement on that joint. You can see it goes up just a little bit right here with that slit, and you actually get some pretty decent downwards movement on that torso joint, and that is really cool. I like how these Tyrannosaurs can like pose almost all the way down. You can see with the legs, these figures are very well balanced. Probably some of the best balanced figures in the series. You know, I have this in the Gorgosaurus display for like a day now without their bases, and they're standing really well on my display shelves. And for the hind legs, you get backwards and forwards movement. You get, let's get the knee straight out right here, and you get about that much bend on the knee. This is the articulated foot that's on this side, and you do get, these joints are so incredibly stiff. I haven't really broken these figures too much in. You get a nice bend at the ankle, some rotation at the feet. Rotation at the feet on a ball joint, up and down, side to side. It's going to be really interesting to see how the new disc joints work on the figures coming out in Cyberzoic. They're supposed to be more secure. And then on this side, we just have the non-articulated leg, which just allows knee movement. And then going down to the tail, you get up, down, side to side. It's three segmented, same amount of movement on all three joints, except for the tail tip right here, which is a bendy rubber wire, so you can get some more posability the tail. So yeah, this is the articulation you come to expect from Beasts of the Mesozoic, but I am saying I am really liking this body type. They are very well balanced, and they stand really well without the base. Now for accessories, you get your display base, you get your non-articulated and articulated leg pairs. You get a pair of walking toes and closed toe feet, and the open toes are already pre-installed on the figure. And of course, you get a nice collector card where every figure has this beautiful artwork of Gorgosaurus chasing a juvenile Centrosaurus. On the back, you do get some information about Gorgo as well as a picture of the actual toy. And let's take a quick look at the base. This is the same exact base that came with the previously reviewed Daspletosaurus, except it's in a little bit of a lighter rock tone. Nice wash over it to bring all the detail. The mossy details on this one look a little bit better than the Daspletosaurus. There's lots of nice shades of brown and different greens to make it look like the moss is drying out. Got some roots mixed in there, painted in with brown paint. Spinning this over, it is hollow. There's an H-clip right here, so you can move this rock portion for different display options. And right here, you do have the solid metal posts. I got my little pup sitting behind me in the chair because he gets all frazzled upstairs doing my reviews. But yes, this post right here is for the non-articulated feet, just to plug in right here like that. They're really, really tight on these new Tyrannosaurs, but you just want to plug that in here and you figure it'd be nice and stable while it's on your shelf. Then on the articulated foot, you just want to pop this off on the ball joint, and then you can attach any of these other feet to have different display options. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with the Hammond Collection Robert Muldoon. He's a 3 3/4 inch figure, which means he's 1/18 scale, so those type of figures will scale with the Beast of Mesozoic figures, and it gives you a good idea how big Gorgosaurus was in real life. And next up, here it is with the Daspletosaurus. And the interesting thing about these two Tyrannosaurs, they actually coexisted at the same time in the same ecosystem. You really don't see that too much, where two apex predators are coexisting in the same environment. Now, they probably inhabited different ecological niches. Gorgosaurus is a little bit more lightly built, probably preyed upon the Hadrosaurs, and Daspletosaurus was a little bit more bulky, probably went after the armored dinosaurs and ceratopsians of the environment that they shared, but still pretty cool. You have these two large predators existing at the same time. I think that's pretty awesome. Now, Gorgosaurus is from the Dinosaur Park formation of Canada, so it did coexist alongside Parasaurolophus and Corythosaurus, and these are the Mattel Hammond Collection versions, and they're roughly around 1/18 scale, so they do work pretty well with the Beast of the Mesozoic figures. And speaking of the Dinosaur Park formation, here are the ceratopsians it can interact with from that formation. We have the Chasmosaurus, we have the juvenile Centrosaurus. Let's move Chasm over here. Here it is with the adult Centrosaurus. I think they just look absolutely great together. And let's pull out the other Centrosaurus. We have a lot of Centrosaurs in Beast of the Mesozoic. And let me just turn this around so we can just get the whole family set up. So this is a great diorama scene you can do, since we have so many Centrosaur figures. Beast of Mesozoic, you can have this Gorgosaurus chasing down a family group of these. And we do have possible Gorgosaurus fossils from a couple other formations. So for the Judith River, it can interact with Avaceratops, Medusaceratops, and Spiclophyllus. And the other is the two medicine formations, so it can interact with Ionosaurus. So yeah, the Gorgosaurus and Daspletosaurus, probably the two most versatile Tyrannosaurs in the entire series for the amount of ceratopsians they can interact with. And lastly, here it is with all 5 Tyrannosaur series body types. We're starting out with the small Susquityrannus, Teratophonus, Dryptosaurus. Here's the Gorgo, and the massive Tyrannosaurus Rex. So it's so neat to have all the body types stacked up next to each other. I've always said, these 3 right here are probably the best to play around with. The body type for Gorgosaurus and Daspletosaurus is still an absolute pleasure to mess around with. Very, very well balanced. T-Rex, still a brick. I just wish it was a little bit more flexible, but yeah, they all look really, really impressive next to each other. So final thoughts on the new Gorgosaurus. Like I said earlier, this is going to be the big fan favorite in the entire series. It's such a beautiful figure. Absolutely love the head sculpt on it. One of the best head sculpts in the entire series. And same goes for the paint job. Just absolutely love the blue mixing in with those yellows and cream coloration. Really makes it stand out on the shelf. This new body type is a ton of fun to play around with. Very poseable. Has great balance, as you saw, pretty much during the whole review. It can stand fine without the base, and it can interact with so many of the already existing ceratopsian figures. So yeah, all around, this figure is an absolute home run. Highly, highly recommend it. And like I said at the beginning of the review, it's still up for pre-order. It's going to be another month or so before the U.S. Receives their orders. So secure it for that pre-order price of $125 before it jumps up to $140. Link is down below to Creative Beast Studios. So that will do it for the review. I got to finish up my top 10 scientifically accurate dinosaur figure list of 2023 video. I was actually recording it, but these came in, so that got put on hold. So I should have that out probably right after Christmas. So stay tuned for that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.